the Morning Drive. Now, today we're exploring a commodity that blends nature, luxury, and big business. Agarwood, also known as oud. Now, it's a rare wood, so valuable that it often fetches a price higher than gold. And the Philippines is emerging as a key player in the global luxury market. Joining us over Zoom is Dr Ephraim Cercado. He is the president of the Dendrotonics Corporation. Dendro, trees, tonic, health, and they're at the forefront of Philippine agarwood cultivation and exports. Dr. Cercado, good to have you join us.
Glad to be here discussing with you.
Well, look, lots of questions to put to you today. From the outset, I kind of need to be honest with you. I'm kind of new to the topic, so bear with me. Agarwood or oud, I know that much, highly prized, important for this region in particular, of course, but I really didn't realize quite how highly valuable it was.
Our currency, we always compute in Philippines, but it's like this. We normally have a capitalization of 170,000 US dollars, and that produces around 2.3 million US dollars for us in just the span of 5 years. Oud there, the cheapest oud would probably sell for around 24,000. I think that would be 500 US dollars per kilogram. That would be the cheapest price. The highest price documented fetches up to 100,000 US dollars per kilogram.
Well, I've read this, and I'm looking at some of the prices. Wild agarwood can be up to something like 37,000 dirhams. It's about $10,000 a kilo, depending on the grade. But the rarest varieties, and I'm reading a variety called Kainam, I believe, that can be up to $100,000 a kilo. It's remarkable.
It is. Those are documented prices.
So what we're talking about here is a dark, resinous kind of heartwood. It's derived from the Aquilara tree, if I'm right. And what's unique about this is it's infected by a specific fungus, and that triggers a defense mechanism. Am I getting the science right here?
You described it perfectly. That's how it works. That's the physiology of the tree.
Okay, and that obviously affects the aroma and the properties and everything else. It's used in a number of ways, Dr. Cercado. Can you run through some of the ways we can utilize oud?
It's better to describe it from the perspective of the Quran. Quran states that they have to use this in their daily Islam rituals. So if you're in Dubai, Saudi Arabia, and the Gulf countries, thus the one that you smell in the malls every second of the day in the mosque, that's it. That's the one you smell every day.
Okay.
So they use this in their daily rituals.
Yeah, and for anybody maybe not familiar with that, it's incense, really, isn't it? It's burned in small pots and obviously used in perfumery as well. Let's talk a little bit about Dendrotonics. How did you get started in cultivation, and why is it that it's the Philippines that's becoming such a strategic player in? It's a really high-end market.
It's a weird start. I'm a surgeon. I'm a trauma and cancer surgeon here in the Philippines.
Right.
But I was a provincial surgeon for a certain province. And during that time, I was trading in timber when I don't have patients. And from timber, which was a very profitable venture, we studied other agroforestry products. So everything related to trees. That's where we encountered, that was 2012. We started in 2012. We eventually encountered oud in 2016, did the research about it. Our first reaction was the price was too good to be true, which is a perfectly normal reaction. But we studied about it. We found out that it was native to our country, and we started researching about it for production oud formation, and eventually incorporated the business in 2020. And this is one of our business lines. So that's how we started in a summary.
Okay, so Agarwood is allowed for commercial propagation in the Philippines. Can you talk me through the
Yes.
process, the costs, and I guess the challenges of maintaining plantations? Because, obviously that's what's required.
The first, we normally have our business operations manual. It lists all the difficulties there, but let me describe it better for your listeners. In the Philippines, it is legal to cultivate agarwood. It's covered under our laws. So our regulatory agency for this is Department of Environment and Natural Resources, which is subject to the CITES, or the Center for International Trade of Endangered Species. We're subject to that.
Okay.
So these are the two things regulating our trade for agarwood. Now, for us, if we go to the commercial aspect, we normally capitalize around 170,000 US dollars for this and generate, well, in dollars, that would be 2.3 million US dollars after 5 years. These are quite conservative figures. And the science behind this involves sourcing of the planting materials, which is highly regulated. So it has to be legally sourced. And then we have the survival, the planting technology, the growth rates, the exclusive inoculation technologies. The inoculation means you put the substance inside the tree for it to produce the expensive wood. And then, of course, it goes into marketing and sales. We handle all of this for our partners.
Okay, so I'm just picking up on something there. You have to introduce this fungus into the tree.
Fungus is one of the mechanisms for you to produce the expensive wood.
Okay.
As you mentioned, that was correct. Wood is produced when you damage the tree. The resin is secreted as a defense mechanism, and as that takes time, the resin hardens, and that produces the expensive wood. So there are traditional ways. There are a lot of ways to induce this damage. Some people use fire. Some people use exposing portions of the wood to the elements. There is the fungus, and there are other substances which you can use to produce the agarwood or the oud.
Okay, so am I understanding this correctly? The oud itself that is burned as incense and used for perfumery, and I think there are some medicinal applications as well, from what I've read. That's the bark of the tree. Is that correct?
Not the bark; it's the core of the
It's the
tree.
core
So
of the
it's
tree.
yeah,
Okay.
it's the core of the tree.
Right, I'm with you. I'm getting there slowly but surely. I'm learning here, Dr. Cercado. So, from a business perspective, can I ask you a little bit more about typical profit margins? How long it is before a plantation becomes profitable?
If we're discussing with investors, we discuss on a scale of 1 hectare. Capitalization for 1 hectare over 5 years. This involves 833 trees, is 170,000 US dollars,
Right.
and a return of 2.3 million US dollars in 5 years. These returns are typical of the technologies we use because we have something called fast growth rate and high quality wood production. This normally wood, which comes from the Philippines, sells at 25,000 dirhams in UAE. But when we say 2.3 million US dollars in 5 years, we're only using 25% of that. So not it's not 25,000 dirham selling price in UAE. We're only using 25% of that. So 12 around 6.5 thousand dirham selling price. As you can see, it's quite conservative. We use very conservative projections in our discussions with investors.
Mm. But there's a strong business case, clearly. I mean, you export extensively to the Middle East, particularly here in the UAE. How strong is international demand for Philippine oud?
Philippine wood is currently the most sought after and the most expensive wood of all sources. The price range, the price difference is like this. If it's for Philippine wood, the minimum retail price in UAE would be around 25,000 dirhams. Malaysian, Vietnam, Thailand would be one fourth of the selling price. So
It's a huge
Philippine
difference.
Agarwood,
Okay.
it's a very huge difference.
Well, it really is. I mean, what differentiates the wood from the Philippines from other regional producers? What creates that differential?
Well, we've exported legal Agarwood for the first time in 2024. We asked the same thing. The answer we get from our buyers, they say it's the quality. That's the same answer I can provide because that's what they give. The quality of Filipino wood is something they like.
Okay, and put that into context for me, if you could. I mean, I'm a novice in this, I admit to that, but, I'm aware of the smell of oud. I've been in Dubai and the UAE for some time. But how would you quantify that? Is there a particular difference in the aroma, in the feel?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, the standardization for the price and the quality is expert dependent in the buyer countries. So we're talking about the 17 Gulf countries. There is a difference in the scent produced by the wood from Philippines versus Malaysia versus Thailand. And this this boils down to preference and this boils down to eventual pricing. I the standardization is that for the whole industry.
I mean, the thing is, this is one of those things, isn't it, Oud, that I guess people grow up with. There's a familiar aroma from a particular type. It's something that I guess this kind of runs through generations for families.
It's generations. The best example I can say about it is like we Filipinos, we can't live without rice during meals. So for the Islam race, their first exposure to this is as toddlers because it is smoked everywhere where the Islam race is. So by the time you're elementary students, it becomes a cultural necessity, something you cannot live without.
Mm.
It determines what makes you happy. It determines what your culture is, who you are as an Arab. It's something like that for them.
Okay, and I guess if we look slightly further, it's important in the global luxury markets. It's important for obviously perfumery. It's used in hospitality. There must be, I imagine, other exclusive products produced too.
The main use really for oud is incense, not only for the Gulf countries. The Asian markets already also use this. China, Korea, Hong Kong, Japan as incense. Now, for the perfume industry, anything that contains oud is always the most expensive line, about 3 to 5 times more expensive than those perfumes not containing oud. So it's really, really the most expensive perfume line.
Okay, and then are there domestic markets in the Philippines for oud products? Is it a popular product in the country?
The Philippines is a producer market. Consumption, no,
Right.
not much.
Okay.
We've been having the informal market for decades, about five five decades. Awareness has only started 2018, so we initiated the awareness campaign. Going into the commercial aspects, the good thing about Philippine oud is it's the most sought after in the world, most expensive type of oud in the world. And there are 20 oud species in the whole world. 9 of them, almost half, are listed in the Philippines. We have the most number of species of oud producing species plants in the world. So very good opportunity for us right now.
That's a very good position to be in, I guess, which kind of leads me
Yes.
to the obvious next question. If you look ahead, what's the vision for the industry in the Philippines? 5, 10, 15 years. Where do you see things headed?
We we intend to be the number one producer of wood for the whole world. That's where we're going to. That's our direction.
Final question for you. In fact, second but one final question for you. What advice would you give entrepreneurs, maybe investors, looking at niche luxury commodities like oud, Agarwood, as I pronounced it originally?
Okay. They Based on our experience, there is no business in the Philippines or in the world which has a profit versus capital ratio of 170,000 US dollars, which converts into 2.3 million US dollars in 5 years. This is for a scale of 1 hectare. And mind you, we present this very conservatively at 25% of the actual selling price. So what we have right now, what we have right now is we have premier and legitimate top quality wood, the most expensive one in the market. And in terms of legalities, since we handle the whole value chain, we know how to secure our business here in the country. So we only plant in private land, private plantations, which does not have a limit cap on the number of years we can use this. And it is secured by government under our laws. So it's not something which fluctuates. It is something which has a very, very high income, which we can generate year after year after year. And so it's a very stable, high income investment with low maintenance and good security, legal wise.
I should ask you, in the back of my mind, I'm wondering about the sustainability aspects of this, and how sustainable a resource is this?
We do not do traditional technology. That's one big difference for our company. Traditional technology is you harvest wood after 7 to 12 years, and then you cut the tree, then you wait for another 7 to 12 years before you harvest and make that income again. Very large income, but long waiting time. We have a lot of clients who are senior, so they can't afford to wait that long. So what we do, our technology, we have the fast growth technology. We're able to produce wood 3 years from planting. And we also have something called perpetual harvest technology, meaning we harvest from this tree on year 3, then we harvest from the same tree again on year 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to 50 years. You don't have to kill the tree. You don't have to replant ever again. It's sustainability for 3 generations beyond you. Very sustainable.
Final question, and it goes back to something you said earlier in this interview. You were an oncologist, I believe. You're a cancer specialist working in the Philippines. You worked in the province of the Philippines, I gather. But you're also trading in timber while you were practicing. I'm just wondering how that came about. I'm interested in the backstory.
Well, the problem with our profession as doctors is we have so little time. I mean, if our friends and relatives message us, we'd probably reply after 3 days. You can imagine that's how
Okay.
much little time we've had as doctors. And as a surgeon, the stress level is something else. It's not something we can leave at work. If the patient does not have a good condition, we can't sleep for several days
Mm,
until the patient gets better or goes to a better place, if you know what I mean.
I do.
Wow. So that is something beyond the realm doctors can handle. So what I wanted is a income which is enough to surpass my profession as a surgeon, and something which is low maintenance, sustainable, gives me better time, and this is it.
Okay, I guess there's an element in there of stress relief as well, in a weird kind of a
Oh,
way.
very.
Really,
You deal with trees, it's very relaxing.
back to nature. Lots of people turn to cooking and I don't know exercise, but you turn to trees. I like the story.
Oh,
Dr. Ephraim Cercado, president of Dendrotonics Corp. As I said, dendro trees, tonics, health, based in the Philippines. It's been good to
yes.
talk to you this morning. Appreciate you joining us. Thank you.
Thank you. Happy to oblige.
This is Mira Business FM. It's the morning drive. You can get in touch. Tell us what you think on social media about the show. We always appreciate a like and a subscribe. That's very welcome. As you hear very often, everything we do you can watch and listen to again on the website, YouTube, wherever you find your podcasts. There are a number of different channels, Rumble and Twitch, etc. And get in touch with us. All you have to do is look for Mira Business FM.